Did you have our cold open?
I do. And
is it a poem? Is that what you're gonna like prepare? You were like doing like the Sharpay in like High School Musical. Like what? Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it is actually kind of a poem. 7 years ago, we recorded last time.
Oh yeah,
this is the best you've got.
It is. It's been some time. Well, what do you want? You do a better poem than Seth. God.
I don't think
that wasn't a poem. That was an address.
Gettysburg Address
is not a poem.
It was published, so that's all I'm saying. All right, anyway, welcome to...
not what a poem is.
I'm the English teacher. Don't tell me what a poem is.
Okay.
Welcome to Overthinking Games, a podcast about what video games can teach us. My name is Katie. I'm a special education teacher and video game enthusiast, and I am joined by my co-hosts. Go ahead, somebody.
So let's say that I make an animatronic, right? And I make it recite the Gettysburg Address on like January 2nd on Capitol Hill as like a memorial to like the insurrection attempt or whatever. At that point, could it be a poem? Because it's like would that make it a poem?
I mean, spoken word, right? Like a non-rhyming poem?
How much work would you have to put in? Like, how much context would you have to create to make the Gettysburg Address a poem?
I don't know, but my intro was going real smooth. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself next?
Okay. I think that's... Oh, hi, I'm Dempsey. Seth, what's up?
Oh, hey, I'm Seth. I kind of do like what Katie does, but like the cooler version because I teach science.
I teach poems. Sometimes, which the Gettysburg Address is not, apparently.
I teach the poems of nature.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What's that one guy? Not Pythagorean. The other one.
Johannes
Fibonacci.
Kepler.
He's like...
No, okay.
Fibonacci is like poetry in nature. Right. So anyway, we talk about video games and what they can teach us. And this week, we are going to actually be talking about non-gamers and what they may need to know to be able to play games or the challenges that new gamers can run into. And what are the secrets of gaming that we as gamers know without even knowing we possess that sort of knowledge? But before that, we are going to somewhat briefly, hopefully, talk about what we've been playing for the last month before we get into our topic. Seth, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I'll try to keep it brief. First thing I need to talk about is the game that I was really hoping to talk about a month ago and then never had the opportunity to talk about, which is UFO 50, which at this point will probably have been out for half a year, but that's fine. UFO 50 is, if you like listening to this podcast, you will like UFO 50. That's the long story short. It's literally like 50 full games that all released by the guy who made Spelunky 2. And it's not like a mini game collection. It's literally like 50 full games. It's inspired by like old school like flashcards. For me, it has a lot of nostalgia for like browsing like addicting games and like cool math games and just like playing some flash game for like an entire afternoon. So many of the games on there are amazing. It's got everything. It's got like a deck builder that's awesome game to play. It has like a bajillion different puzzle games. It's got, I don't know, like some
arcade shooters,
random other arcade games. Onion Delivery is like the hardest game I've ever played.
Oh my god, I could not with that game. It was so hard.
Like, it's got like a full-size JRPG, which I like barely even touched. It's got Rail Heist, which slaps beyond belief.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I played all of Rail Heist in like one afternoon because I was like, man, this game is good. It also has the first game of the collection, Barbuda, which I love Barbuda.
Fuck that game.
I
Yeah, fuck
love
that game.
Barbuda.
Fuck that game.
It's like
It's so hard.
it's the only game I've ever played where I was like, I gotta pull out a notebook and like actually take notes. And I did. And guess what? It's great if you do that. And it probably sucks major balls if you don't.
Did you map out the whole map, or how did you?
Yeah, I have the
use your
whole game
notes?
mapped up out in a notebook,
Wow.
with like notes for each room, that I labeled like R1 for like the first room on the right, like R2, R3, and then it's like L1, L2, L3. It felt great playing through Barbuda and being like, I'm stuck and I don't know where the heck to go. Let me like just pick up everything on the right side of the map and go left. And then you're like, holy cow, a new area I can go to. It's great. Barbuda is fantastic. The Barbuda speedrun is like 5 minutes, but that was like when I
What?
checked a while ago.
Dang.
It's a great game. I'm sure I'm like missing a ton of other fantastic games. I actually haven't played a lot of UFO 50 recently because I find the main problem is like you constantly have to be like learning new games. So like being in the mindset of like I want to sit down and learn a new game is a little tricky sometimes. But Avianos.
Is that the
That's
base
like-
builder? one?
Yeah, it's like
Like
the
a-
Civilization style
Hmm.
game is surprisingly great. Like I really enjoyed playing that game. And I don't even really like the like Civ style games.
Mhm.
And then what's another great sleeper pick that I wanted to talk about? Oh, you got to play Mooncat. You just have to
So
play
hard.
Mooncat. I like to describe Mooncat as, and Mooncat is perfect for this episode because playing Mooncat is the experience of never having played a video game before. Which means you need to go play Mooncat because if you want to experience having never played video games before, you play Mooncat. Which means Dempsey, you need to play Mooncat.
Did you already say that's a topic?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Dempsey, go play Mooncat. And
I didn't get much further than like the first two. Like you drop down and then the world changes a little bit, and then
Katie,
I didn't get any further than
Katie,
that.
play more Mooncat.
It's so hard.
It is, but your brain figures it out. And then you're
No,
like,
my
this is
brain
the
doesn't.
greatest platformer I've ever played.
Oh my god.
It's Mooncat, Katie.
I really loved. Is it the deck builder Bug Hunter?
No, the deck builder is
No?
Party
What's the
House.
Oh yeah, Party House. I love Party House. That is a deck builder. You're right. I really liked Party House. I really like Bug Hunter. Over the weekend, I played all 50 games with my brother
That's crazy.
and tried them all out in one evening. And some of the games, like we would take turns picking, different games. And sometimes I would get into a game and I would play 30 seconds of it and I would back out and hand the controller back over. I'm like, nope, I hate this. I'm not doing this. Mostly like the Campanella ones. Those ones sucked. I didn't like those. But there's mostly because everything's so hard.
Yeah.
And that's what like
It's hard.
all of the games are wicked hard in different ways. And some of the challenges I enjoy and some of them I didn't. But I did think it was funny because my husband, who's not a gamer, really likes UFO 50 and is like, yeah, we should play more of those games. And I'm like, they're all really hard. And he's like, yeah, but they're kind of simple. I like them. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Did you play Mini and Max?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, that's a Katie game. Mini and Max is just a great game in general, but
Isn't that the one where you go smaller
Yeah.
and then you platform or something?
yeah.
And you like, yeah. I didn't get very far into it, but we put that on the list of games to come back to.
Yeah, definitely. Oh god. Dempsey, play UFO 50, play Mooncat.
I played like the first three or the first like 3 or 4 games, and I really fucking bounced off of the first one. Like I put like 3 hours in. I put like 3 hours into it.
Yeah.
And I thought I was like, this is gonna burn into my brain and it's like I could never remember where the rooms are. So I would have to do the whole map again every time I needed to find a room.
Yep.
It would just be randomly looking for the room. And then also, it does not have great platforming feel. And I understand that it's supposed to be like a game from the late 70s, but like it does not feel good, and it does not fill me with a lot of confidence to do like any jump that requires any kind of dexterity. I lost so many lives so often. And then also there's things that you can do that there's a better way to do them later on. And that fucked me so bad. Like I couldn't kill I didn't know that you could kill the big guys with the shield. And so I thought you just had to be quick and get down the holes and your places before they get to you, which is possible, but really hard to do consistently. And so I would lose like half of my hearts there every time. Fuck that game. Anyways, I watched a walkthrough of it though. I gave up like 3-4 hours in, and I watched a walkthrough, and it has so many non-intuitive paths, I guess. And then I played the one where it's like a turn-based strategy game where you're splatting bugs.
Bug Hunt.
I love that game. I have played 20 hours of that game and only gotten to day 3. And I was like, is this a bad game? Like, is it bad? Is that why I can't get further in it? And then I was like, no, it's me. I'm the one who's bad. Okay.
I think, and that's, so if you get UFO 50, like there's a part of your brain that's going to see all the different stages and levels, and you're going to kind of treat it like a party game or like a Mario Kart or something like that. And that's not what this is. This is like a whole library. Like you have to understand that you are purchasing a library of full games. Because if you go in expecting really simple games, and like you're gonna get burnt and really frustrated. Like you are purchasing like 50 full games, which is insane. That is crazy. An insane thing to buy, actually.
I really enjoy Bug Hunter. I really enjoy Party House. There's a mystery game called Night House or something like that.
Night House or Night Manor.
And I played the first like 10-15 minutes of that game, and oh my god, can't wait to go back and play it more. It's one of those games where you pick up a sliver, like a metal sliver, and then you use that metal sliver to jimmy open the grate on the wall to the, what is that thing called? Like a duct, an air duct. And then, you find something else, and then you figure out how to use that to unlock the door and all the things. Very much point and click, very much my jam. Very creepy in its own way, which you wouldn't expect because it is like a 2D sort of situation, but it really, really good. And what I notice about all of these games, and this UFO 50 is like the perfect game to talk about for our topic this week, because it doesn't tell you shit.
Nope.
It's
Ever.
like,
at any
here's
point.
a game, figure it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes
you have to be really down to like put the effort in.
So there are certain games where I was like, okay, I'm down for this. I can figure out what I'm supposed to click and how this works. And there are other games where I'm like, nope, if you don't tell me, I ain't doing it. This is beyond what I'm comfortable with. I can't figure this out just by looking at it for a minute. I'm going to back out and check something else out. Like that barrier to entry is higher because I wasn't as familiar with those kinds of games. Whereas games that I already knew how to play, I was like, oh yeah, I can figure this out. I'm smart. I got this, It was really cool, really frustrating, really cool.
And also, it's okay to not like every game, which is like, it's not
definitely
like every game. It's not like it's definitely an experience where you can not connect with it. Because I tried to do the first one because I was like, oh, if I don't do this one, none of the other ones are going to make sense. And I don't think that's how that works. I think you can skip the ones that you don't like.
It's definitely like a buffet rather than
Yeah.
like a set course meal, you know?
Yeah, but it's crazy because it's like a buffet of like filet mignon. Like it's like every game you're like, this goes crazy. Sometimes you're like, it's not really my flavor, but like you're like, this still is like a great game. It's just not like a kind of game I enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah. They were really, I feel like it was really thoughtful though, the way that the games were curated, because there really is something for pretty much every taste. Like you'll find something that you like.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in on your what you've been playing, Seth. Is there anything else you've been playing?
The only thing I wanted to add is I've been playing a lot of the new Warhammer Space Marine 2, which is fantastic because it is 3-player co-op specifically.
Oh, fun.
And I specifically have 2 other friends I play Warhammer with. So
fun.
It's perfect for us to all like hop in together and be like, just kind of be like hanging with my 2 best friends from high school and playing Warhammer games, and had a great time with it. The game itself is like nothing super standout-ish. It's got cool lore stuff. If you're a Warhammer person, the writing's not very good, which is like on par for Warhammer stuff. So
it's literally the friends we make along the way.
So true. Katie, what do you play over the past month?
Well, UFO 50, obviously. An insane amount of Bug Hunter for how far I've gotten into that game. I've also been playing, I went back to The Long Dark, which I played over the summer. I have paused on the episodes, like they have like story episodes, and there's 3 of 5 out right now. Or no, 4 of 5 out right now. And the 5th episode has been in progress and is late by more than a year. And I was like, well, I don't want to burn through these episodes and then be left on a cliffhanger. I'm just going to wait. So I dumped The Long Dark for a while over the summer, but they have a survival mode. And I was like, well, I'll try out the survival mode. And they have like a sandbox survival mode where you're just wandering around in the wilderness, as far as I can tell, surviving as much as you can in this Canadian Arctic. But they also have challenge missions, which I'm all about that. I'm like, give me an objective, give me an area to explore and things to do. And so I've been playing that, and it's really quite fun. I have to do, this one is called Nomad, and you have to spend 3 days in 15 different locations, but you have to mark the map as you go. So you start out, when you open your map, it's just black. And whereas in the story mode, the map was discovered, and you could see you had a little icon of yourself on the map, so you could figure out where you were. In survival mode, it's a black map, and you have to get charcoal from campfires and survey the map as you go. And if you get up to a higher, like a viewpoint, you can see more of the map in one go when you survey, but you're just uncovering this like fog of war as you go. And then you can use spray paint to mark like places that you've searched, or like, hey, this is where I left a bunch of clothes and tools because I'm getting loaded down with things, so I know where to come back to. And then those things will show up on the map once you've surveyed the area. So I don't know why. It's like kind of a boring game, but I just really like it. And I just play it a lot, and it's really relaxing. And I just enjoy, I think it's very methodical. You have to keep track of all of your survival stats, and you have to think, oh shit, it's going to get dark. I need to find some place to bunker down. You spend a lot of time sleeping and waiting. And I'm just kind of here for it. I don't know. I love it. It's been really fun. And it's been a nice sort of wind down game as the school year has been kicking up and been very kind of stressful. It's the perfect level of like engagement, but I can also listen to a podcast while I'm, tramping through the wilderness. And I think I've not really heard a lot of people talk about it. I don't know if it's like super well known, but it's definitely a game that I think people should try out, because it just has like a weird pleasantness to it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really good. But that's pretty much what I've been playing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's about it. How about you, Dempsey?
I second the Long Dark recommendation. I love that game so much. So I've been playing UFO 50 a bit. I've been playing a lot of Balatro because they released Balatro on my cell phone, and that is bad for me. And I started another playthrough of Baldur's Gate with a friend. They have mod support for PS5, which is what I've been playing with my friend. And so, like, and mod support as in, like, in the game. You, like, not even like a Steam Workshop or anything. It's just like in the game, you select mods. Like, you're not downloading anything outside of whatever. Like, in the game, you select how you want your game to be different. And so and there's like entirely new classes, entirely new races. There's no real story things or map things. There's new bosses. And you can fight bosses in a different way and things like that. You have to be really careful because I became a vampire witch werewolf.
Wow.
And I really overpowered myself, and now it's just kind of like walking through the game. And so a lot of the mods are not, go figure, the mods are not as well balanced as the official, like, actual classes and things like that. A lot of the mods are either like worse versions of the official ones or just like really overpowered. And so I like I'm on the one where you can't die, or else it restarts your game.
Yeah, the like battle hardened or whatever version that is.
Yeah. And then I also have not allowed myself to take a single rest. So it's not well, so I'm playing Dark Urge, and there's a mod that lets Alfrea, or whatever that bard is, join your camp. Like, she's a playable character now. However, if you're on Dark Urge, she's the NPC that you kill first, and you can't stop it. It just happens in a cutscene. And so if I let myself go to bed, I kill her. And so narratively, my character can't sleep. So I'm playing. So I'm playing the whole game without resting. Which like, if you create different challenges for yourself, like you'll play like the first 2 levels of the mod and then get a sense for how like the mod works, and then you'll be like, okay, I really need to like make a really absurd, arbitrary challenge for myself in order to find this engaging. But
this is the most Dempsey thing I've ever heard in my life.
But they're really, like, they're really fun though, and like for role-playing purposes, like the idea that I'm like the super goth chick who's a vampire werewolf witch, and can't sleep or else she kills someone she loves, like, that's good. That's
very good narratively.
And
Dempsey doesn't need stories in his games. He makes up his own.
Yeah. And so that's been fun. It's fun also to, like, this is like my 4th or 5th, 6th playthrough or something like that. And so I kind of know everything really well. And so to kind of set up these plans, like, okay, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this all in one turn, or I'm going to try to do X, Y, Z. Oh, there's also party begone, or party limit begone. So you can just have like 12 people in your party.
Nice. That's what I need to get through the base game, because I'm bad.
Anyway, so a modded Baldur's Gate, super easy. The only thing is, if you're playing with co-op, that, like, make sure everyone's on the same version, everyone has the same version of the mods, and everyone has the same mods. And so some of that is kind of tedious, but modded Baldur's. And then I have been playing a game called The Plucky Squire. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Have you guys heard of this game?
Mm-mm.
So the idea is that you're in a storybook. It's 2D, and you're like a storybook hero, and then you get pulled out of your storybook into the real world, which is like a kid's desk in his room that the book's on. And so it flips back and forth between 2D and 3D gameplay. And it has like some light puzzle elements, some pretty easy combat. I die mostly for like experimentation purposes. Like I'll see if I can jump off a ledge, and nope, and that's most of the reason why I die. It's not super challenging. I really hate the pacing. Like you cannot go like 3 minutes without being interrupted by speech bubbles. Like it's just always someone's always saying some nonsense. The writing's not extremely good. Like the writing's fine, but it's not great by any means. It's fine for flavor. I think most of what's there is the gameplay, and then the gameplay gets interrupted constantly. And that is currently, and I thought that would stop after the first, like, the tutorial bit where like you got to meet all the characters and things like that. And I thought it would stop after that, but I'm like 5 hours in and it's still like, and it's only like an 8-hour game. And like, it's still like pause, or I don't know how long it is, but I'm 5 hours in and it's still like pausing every, like you literally can't go like 3 minutes without being interrupted for some speech bubble.
And are you like click, just getting through it? You don't care?
Yeah. And it makes me less likely to engage with the story. Cause like, anytime it comes up, I don't care about it anymore. I just want to get, but the thing is that sometimes what the characters say is the only thing that gives you the information to like be able to go back, and then you can't get that information again and you have to restart the level. Cause they'll like allude to what they said, but they won't give you the entire speech again. Mm-hmm. So they'll like give you a summary that doesn't have the details that you need. And so I've had to restart like sections to get the information that I skipped, because there's no way to get that information once you skip it. Anyways,
bad design.
It's driving me crazy.
Are you going to finish it?
But I think so. It's really charming, and like it'll have like It Takes Two-esque. Like it'll give you a mechanic for a little bit and then throw it away, and like it's sprinkled with all kind of super fun mini games and different like twists on combat. So like there's a lot. I like it, and like the aesthetic's super fun. It's very cute. There's also like 2 companion characters that don't do anything, like not narratively, not mechanically. They just add the amount of text box you have to read, and there's 2 of them. Anyways, so that's my take on the Plucky Squire. I'll probably finish it. It's very cozy. It's a very like frivolous, whimsical game. I recommend, on the caveat that like you just got to read everything, because at some point something important is going to happen. So anyways,
cool.
That's my review of the Plucky Squire.
Thank you for sharing. All right. So our topic this week is sort of just thinking about like non-gamers and how they do or don't do with video games, and like what kinds of things they might struggle with, or how to build those skills. And the inspiration for this topic was that I played Little Nightmares with a friend of mine who is a non-gamer. She watched, she listened to our podcast, which is super cool. But she watched a video essay about Little Nightmares and the lore, and became really curious about it. And she knew kind of all the beats and themes from watching this video essay, but she wanted to see the game played. But she hasn't really played games like almost ever. And so playing it by herself was not super accessible. So we set up a day to get together and play it. And it was so much fun to play it with somebody who didn't have any experience with games. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she thought. And it was really interesting to see what she th what things she picked up on intuitively, what things she didn't. And it was interesting to me as well that like Little Nightmares is a sort of isometric 3D game. You're third person, you're looking down at this little girl in this 3D world, but the controls are fairly basic, in my opinion. But for my friend, it was really challenging because you had to control where the camera was looking as well as your character, and then adding in the buttons, and then adding in the stress of monsters trying to eat you or having to do something on a time limit. And she fairly quickly was like, here you go, here's the controller. I'll watch and I'll help by supervising. I was like, okay. But I had thought that Little Nightmares would be a very accessible game because I was like, oh, it's very simple. But there were elements to it that were a lot more advanced than I realized until I played it with somebody who didn't have that experience. So I guess my first question is for you guys. More so for Dempsey. You didn't play games for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So when you came back to games, like, and you're younger than me, so maybe not, but when you came back to games, did you find it challenging to adapt to, like, the evolution of the control schemes?
No. Like, when I say I came back to games, I still played, like, Call of Duty Zombies. And, like, I guess I was, like, casual gaming versus, like, core audience gaming, if that that horrible distinction. So, like, You were
a gamer lowercase g. Got it.
Yeah, I was a gamer lowercase g. And then I played, I think, like, it was probably, like, Red Dead or God of War or something like that. And then I, like, got back into games. But I was never... Like, I've been playing video games since probably, like, second grade or something like that. Like, as young as I can remember. So I never had that experience.
Okay. And Seth, you are similar, right? You started playing games as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I played games relatively my whole life.
Mm-hmm. Same as. So for me, I never had that moment of... Because, especially whereas I'm older than you guys... I mean, I remember the N64 coming out and using the stick, the stick controller for the first time. And then we, evolved into twin sticks. And I can't remember a time that twin sticks was challenging for me. But have you guys ever played with a non-gamer? What was that experience like?
Okay, so, because I got a great story for this. Which is, because my dad, a while back, like, my dad, I'd say, like, post having kids was less of a gamer. And my dad played a lot of games before my brother and I were born. I've heard stories that, like, him and the people from church would get together and they'd play, like, Quake 3 on, like, these, like, giant LAN games. And I was like, man, I miss the 90s. But he played games occasionally, like, as we were growing up. He liked the Legend of Zelda games, and so he'd play them and stuff. But there was probably a pretty considerable gap between, I don't know, like the Nintendo Wii and, like, from when I was in college, where my dad really didn't play that many games. And he was never, like, a capital G gamer by any stretch. So it was really funny when down the line and I was playing Elden Ring at home that my dad was like, I want to play this game. And seeing a man who probably, like, the last legitimate video game he played was, like, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and then, like, jump all the way up to, like, Elden Ring and just have him be like, I like,
Two left thumbs.
Yeah, like 2 left thumbs. And one of the main things I noticed, and I had never thought about this, is the twin stick problem. Like, these 2 sticks do 2 different things. And, like, you need to, like, the game is not tank controls. Like, the game cannot be played by, like, move your character and then move the camera and then move the character, move the camera. Like, games are not designed to be played that way. And my dad, like, it was very troubling for him to try and figure out how to, like, move the camera with the character. Like, that took a whole sort of, like, mental reset for him to figure out. And for me, it literally is something that had never occurred to me. He was very happy when I taught him that you could just lock on to enemies and that the camera like moves for you. But I was like, dang, I had never thought about that. Like, it's just something I'm instinctively used to, is like moving the camera and sort of having like a style of like how I like the camera to be moved. That's actually why I bounced off Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus forces you to have like a specific camera angle, and if you try and move it, it like shifts you back to that. And I literally couldn't finish that game because I couldn't deal with the camera.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's interesting. It's definitely, I think it's definitely a motor control skill, like, that you just have to get a feel for. How about you, Dempsey? Do you have any experiences with non-gamers?
My mom cannot play 3D games really because she gets motion sick.
Oh no. Yeah.
They make her really motion sick. So like, I remember, because like where we live kind of looks like Red Dead. And so I was like, well, just, you know, the American West or whatever.
No.
And so like, I wanted to show her like, hey, look, like this is a part of the game that looks a lot like, and then we've been to, and we're really close to one of the towns that is in Red Dead called Valentine. There's probably a bunch of Valentine, but there's a Valentine that seems like it's very close to the, anyways. And so it has very similar geography than in the game. And so I wanted her to, like, you know, ride a horse around Red Dead, and she got really motion sick. And then also playing Mario Kart, because I was like, okay, like Mario Kart's like a pretty simple game that most really casual non-gamers like can have fun with. And she gets too motion sick to play Mario Kart. So that's something that would have never in a million years, like the idea that your brain is telling you you're moving, but you're not actually moving, and that, like, but when I did experience that was playing VR. And then I felt like my mom because I tried Skyrim in VR and almost threw up. And I was like, oh, this is how mom feels. This sucks.
That's how I feel when I play Outer Wilds.
Oh, no, that's a beautiful game.
Yeah, but it's very beautifully motion sick inducing. That game makes me sick, literally. Didn't your mom play Baldur's Gate with you? So she's able to do that, like top down sort of, or like isometric view without getting sick?
Yeah, and there's not that much motion, and also she's pretty slow.
Third person.
In Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. So, like, Baldur's Gate and Red Dead do not have similar move. Like, you know, it's...
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
And in some ways, it's also friendlier to the novice gamer because you can do click to move, and it's turn-based. Yep. So you don't have to be quick. You don't have to be fast. You can take your time to get where you need to go. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I think Baldur's Gate would be a really good introductory game, actually, because of, like, its turn-basedness, how, like, if someone... maybe this is not true, actually. Because I was going to say, it's so strongly fantasy. And, like, that's, like, it's not like a weird... Like, it's not like a weird video game that you kind of have to get... Like, The Last of Us is, like... I feel like you kind of got to get some buy-in or whatever. But, like, if people like Lord of the Rings, they'll probably like Baldur's Gate. But maybe if you're like a nerd and like Lord of the Rings, then you know what video games are. I don't know how much the crossover is between people who enjoy fantasy and don't play video games.
There's book nerds who don't play video games. I know some of those.
Yeah, I know a lot of book nerds who, like, they read a lot, but like they're not video gamers.
Okay.
Do you think though that the skill system of that game and all of I guess if you played it together, that would be a good one because you can help them on board. But if they had to play it by themselves, I think it'd just be completely overwhelming.
Maybe, I guess. And like, I guess I was also really used to the D&D rules. So I guess there was like if you're used to D&D, there's no learning curve to Baldur's Gate.
Background knowledge. I wish I had like a soundboard that I could be like,
Yeah.
It's like
a
I did
lot
a
of
master's
times
thesis on it or something.
the game that I most often will show people who are not gamers is Florence.
That's a good one.
Because it's so far removed from a video game, from like what a typical video game is, and the stakes are so low, and there's no way to be bad at it. So many people will say, I'm bad at video games, and then not want to play video games. And I think philosophically that's a ridiculous. It's impossible to be bad at playing a game. Like it's
Right.
It's I like, unless you're playing like competitive ranked or something like that. Like there is like there's no metric of success, you know. And so but like, so it's very good because there's this idea that you have to be like skilled at video games to enjoy video games, which I don't buy into at all. Like I think that's a ridiculous like way to look at video games. And so Florence is a really good way to bring people in and to kind of subvert that expectation too. Because a lot of times people's experience will be Mario Kart or Mario Party or like casual games that like are competitive in some way, maybe like seeing their or seeing their siblings play Call of Duty, like or Fortnite or something like that. And so yeah. And then there's no like perspective shifts. And also Florence is fun because it's made for like having a background knowledge on video games doesn't necessarily help you play Florence better. Like it is so removed from regular video game vocabulary, other than like maybe point and click adventures, but it's not that at all. So like it's really made to guide people naturally through how you play it, because everyone's kind of starting at the same like even if if a lot of people who play video games for a long time will still have to learn how to play Florence because it's so unlike anything else. So I think
It's Mooncat.
I've not played Mooncat, but
Dempsey, go play Mooncat.
Yeah, I think.
Go
ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I think I agree with you that like picking something that is less mechanically intensive is a really good start. The game so after we played Little Nightmares, we beat it in one day. It was so much fun. That was a game, by the way, that I had tried to beat twice before, but I found it too scary. Because being chased by things that want to eat you is terrifying. And so I would never have been able to get through it without my friends. So thank you, Ro and Neil. You guys are awesome.
I want to expand on that because I am without a roommate for the first time in my life. This is my first Halloween on my own.
Ooh.
And I cannot watch any scary movies or play any scary video games.
Yeah.
Because I can't do those things. I can't do that. I'm not going to do those things by myself. I can't. I get too scared. But all of my life, I had someone else at least in the house while I was doing that thing. So I can. But now, anyways, because I wanted to play Outlast or like some kind of horror game, and I can't play anything that's like proper horror.
No, it's too scary. So we finally beat it. But then I was like, oh, you know what game that she would really actually like and be able to play? Limbo.
Yes. Limbo is such a great...
It's so great.
First kind gamer.
And it's similar to Florence in that something you were saying about Florence that I thought of and I forgot, was I think it's really good to start a non-gamer on a short game that they can finish in 1 to 2 sessions, because then they get that confidence boost of I've beaten a video game. And you get that nice dopamine hit as well of like accomplishment. So Limbo
and Limbo. Okay, I guess they're both kind of similar, but
they are. Limbo's the first one though, and I always like to play them in order because you see the progression as you go, which is cool.
But I think those are really good options because they're tense and they make you feel like you accomplished something when you escape the monster or whatever. Like they're very tense, but they're also like if you kind of just hold the joystick, you're gonna like it's meant to feel very like skin in your teeth, but it's not actually.
There is one button and one stick. You don't have to do any kind of camera management. You don't have to remember like, oh, this button does my light and this button jumps and this button holds on. It's all one button. And so she started playing that and she's like, you have to take your Switch home or I won't do my laundry or anything else that I'm supposed to do tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So I feel like that game, so for those of you who don't know, Limbo is a sort of, what do you say, like 2D, 2.5D linear puzzle game.
Yeah, mechanically it's 2D, I would say, because there's no depth. Like you can't fall off.
You can't fall off. You don't need to like really maneuver back and forth very much. It's mostly 2D. Puzzle game, linear. You move to the right pretty much all the time. Sometimes you have to backtrack. And the puzzles are all very physics-based and pretty simple. So, like, sometimes you'll be stuck for a few minutes, but if you just look around, like, you'll figure it out, and then you move forward and you feel like a genius. And so, for those who are not as familiar with games, it's actually a great training ground, for sure. And I think once you get the hang of that, like, 2D movement to the point where you're comfortable with it and you kind of start to understand, like, oh, there's a light over here that's telling me that there's probably something that's going to help me, you know, or there's something weird hanging down and it's kind of in the foreground. That's going to be important. Once you start picking up those cues, then I think you can start building those skills to play more complex games.
Yeah, I feel like playing Limbo and Inside before Little Nightmares would have been a more natural progression.
But I thought, okay, so this is no shade to my non-gamer friend. I really thought, I'm like, Little Nightmares is really simple. That'll be fine. I didn't think about how complex it is to manage a character and a camera. And, you know, there's like 3 or 4 buttons and maybe 5 buttons. Sure. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's really easy. But it's not. So my bad.
When is the last time you felt like you were learning a game for the first time?
So when I hurt my wrist playing Hollow Knight and I had to go mouse and keyboard on Call of Duty.
Okay.
I had tendinitis of the thumb and I couldn't hold a controller or play sticks. So I went mouse and keyboard, and I played mouse and keyboard when I was a little kid on like Battlefield 1942 on the like old PC games LAN party with my family when I was like 6. And literally had not played a shooter mouse and keyboard since then. Grew up playing like Gears of War, Halo, all of those kinds of things on the controller. So when I tried to go mouse and keyboard, oh my God, it was tragic. It was so bad. And it was, I think, made worse by the fact that I was good on the controller. And so then being bad on mouse and keyboard was like really demoralizing. And what's crazy, like, I never got good at it. Never got good at it. I did it for months and I just could not figure it out. And so I'm like, I wonder for adults who are picking up twin sticks for the first time, or mouse and keyboard maybe, like, is it a skill that you can develop, or is it like the plasticity of my brain is gone and now I can't do it?
No, you could definitely develop it. It just takes practice, I think, like anything else. And I think the problem is you're going up against people who have been doing it their whole life.
Well, and with my KD ratio, I was already in a pretty difficult lobby, so.
What about you, Seth? When's the last time you felt
the
like
answer is Mooncat. It's all Mooncat.
Okay.
This is listen, okay. So now I need to describe Mooncat to you. Okay, so
no, I'm gonna play it. I own this game.
It's fine.
Okay. Are you gonna spoil it?
No, I'm not gonna spoil it. Well, like, fuck. I don't know. It's not a spoiler. I don't think it's the.
You can't spoil these games. They're non.
All right, yeah. Take your headset off. Okay. So for everybody else, Mooncat, the way that the control scheme on Mooncat works is that anytime you press any button on the left side of your controller, you go left. Anytime you press a button on the right side of your controller, you go right. which functionally means like, because so I literally bought like old school NES controllers to play UFO 50. So like,
oh my gosh, he's showing me the
yes.
NES controller.
All of these buttons go. Yeah, I forgot. Everybody else can't see it. Okay, so like your D-pad on your controller, if you think about like your typical controller, all of those buttons make you go left. And all of the face buttons, like your A, B, X, Y, or your like X, whatever, all of those make you go right.
Square, circle.
It is the worst thing I've ever experienced in a video game. It is literally like you're sitting there and you've never played a video game before, and your brain has to like completely rewire itself to like re-understand how to play platformers. And I have never once ever had the experience of I literally don't know how to play this platformer, because I'm so used to this like standardized control scheme of like, this is the jump button and this is the interact button.
Mm-hmm.
And Mooncat completely throws it out the window and is like figure it out. And
Mm-hmm.
eventually your brain does. Eventually you play enough Mooncat and you're like, I get it. And then you're at like the end of the game and you're like, I need to play more Mooncat. It's that good. It's like, it's completely revolutionized how I think like about games.
So
it's
great.
absurd. You just need to, Katie, you need to play more Mooncat.
Okay. I don't like the feeling of not knowing what I'm doing. I've worked very hard to get to a point where I know what I'm doing.
But it's literally the point of your episode. It will make you feel like you've never played a platformer before. You get to experience the thing you're talking about. You get to experience what it's like to be a non-gamer.
If I wanted to experience what it's like to be a non-gamer, I'd be a non-gamer, wouldn't I?
So Debs, long story short of what I just said is that,
oh my goodness.
No. The long story short is that Mooncat is the experience of never having played a platformer before. That is Mooncat.
Okay.
So if you, as a gamer, want to experience what it's like to be a non-gamer playing a platformer, play Mooncat.
That would give us some empathy for our non-gamer brothers and sisters out there.
Exactly. I'm telling you, Dempsey, as soon as we're done here, you got to go play like 10 minutes of Mooncat and then get back to me.
Okay. I will report on playing Mooncat.
How wild would it be if you played Mooncat as your first video game?
It would be, but I don't think it would be any different than because Dempsey, play Mooncat so that I can talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one. All right. Well, yeah, I think that's. Is that an episode?
I had something else I wanted to mention.
Did we have something else to say?
Because we talked about like perspective things.
Mm-hmm.
Mooncat's got its own deal. With
coordination. Oh, cues in gaming.
Oh yeah, wayfinding.
Wayfinding.
That is the most frustrating thing about playing games with someone who's not used to playing games. Is because like if it just feels so obvious most of the time. Even if like the path forward, quote unquote, is not like obvious, at least it's obvious like the direction you're supposed to be going or whatever. Mm-hmm. And yeah, seeing people like not know that you move to the right on a platformer is
I think that UFO 50 really does a good job because it doesn't explain anything. I think it really does a good job of making gamers feel like brand new gamers, because you think about like Barbuta and all of the rules that we follow to know where we're going. But in that game, no matter what you do, you're going to be lost unless you do what Seth did and
like
make a
literally
nerdy
map out the game.
Graph. Yeah. So it's almost like, and I feel like a lot of those games are that way, that all the things that we know about games that help us whenever we play a new game to know kind of what's going on and get up to speed really quickly, that's all stripped away. And it makes sense why, like, my husband was intrigued by it, because he's already kind of feels that way when he's playing a new game he's not familiar with. And so it's like, you're supposed to feel that way, don't worry. And you just figure it out together. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I think like the first 2 seconds of Barbuda is about exactly that. Because it punishes you immediately for doing the typical video game thing. Like,
is that when you get smashed by the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's because that's the first thing that's the first room you're in and you go right and then you die immediately.
Yes, they're like, welcome to hell, bitches.
You know what else is great though for Barbuda? There is a shortcut that is only accessible by not triggering that trap.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is like it's part of the genius. Like Barbuda is a genius of a game. If
Barbuda is not meant to. That's the okay. Yeah, it's a genius of a game, but it's not fun. So
no,
like,
it's like
is it?
It's like a genius of a game if you are willing to let it be, and I think it's a really tough ask to let it be. I had to like accept Barbuda for what it is. It's like
not what you wish it was.
Yeah, not what you wish it is. Like if you're just like, I'm going into this game and I'm accepting the fact that like the only time there's a sound is when I like jump or slash my sword, and otherwise there's no background music.
I hated that.
And if you take it for that, I think it's actually a fantastic Metroidvania. But like it really requires you to like sit down with the map and be like, all right, here's like where everything is, and let me plan my path ahead of time. And
that would be a Metro. Yeah, that's a Metroidvania. Yeah, that it is. Okay,
it so is. Sense. And it's a fantastic little Metroidvania, and it's not even little. Like it took me 5 hours to beat the first time, 5-6 hours.
Yeah. Did you have problems with like getting used to how the character moves?
Yeah, absolutely. It sucks. It's fucking awful. Like your character moves like a rock, and it doesn't get any better. I think I only beat the final boss by accident.
I did not get to the final boss at all. I YouTubed the rest of it. I was like, I'm not going to do this. I thought it was going to get better as well. I thought it was going to be like, oh, like maybe there'll be some like movement upgrades or something like that. And there never is. That's just the entirety of the game.
Well, I mean, you guys like Elden Ring, so that should have been normal for you.
Elden Ring is at least like Elden Ring's a lot better than Barbuda. Barbuda is like intentionally inaccessible. And that's like part of why it is like the way that it is.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a funny little I guess this would be my last thing. But there's a funny little developer interview for UFO 50 where they were like, yeah, Barbuda wasn't like originally designed to be like the like game number 1, the oldest game in the collection. But I guess when they were building it, they were like, what if we just like stripped away? It's sort of like a minimalist version of a Metroidvania where they were like, let's just like strip away like mechanics and things until this is like only barely playable. And apparently like Barbuda is what came out of it. And it's great. It's fantastic.
I hope that it's having enormous commercial success because man, they really went out on a limb with it.
Dude, UFO 50 is so crazy. It's wild to me. It's a game that released. All right. Anyway, let's wrap up.
Any final thoughts about non-gamers, new gamers, entry to gaming before we wrap up?
Hard.
Yeah, find games about their hobbies and things like that too, as well. Like if you know they like nature, play a nature game with them.
Play a short hike.
Yeah. I would say that. Yeah. That helps a lot.
Yeah. And I think also start simple and pared down and work your way forward and you'll have a lot more success. Or if you know that they'll really love Baldur's Gate because they're huge D&D nerds, like Dempsey said, like start with that. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're so glad that we finally got back together to record this episode for you. You can find us, Overthinking Games, on TikTok, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to send us an anecdote about your experience with a new gamer or as a new gamer, or what game you pick up if you're new to gaming, please send us an email. It'll be in the show notes, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Are we gonna do our non-gaming segment, or are we gonna talk about the?
We're at time.
Okay, we're at time. Okay.
Next time on
Next time.
Overthinking
Next time,
Games.
non-gaming. We'll talk about what we're not playing.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.